Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Tough Tony here, and sorry if this video may look a little dark because it is, of course, 7 in the morning almost, Eastern Standard Time. I don't look my best. Of course, I'm just waking up. Normally I'm actually arriving at work around this time, but I don't have to go until the afternoon, so I decided to do this video now. This is my review of the TNA Turning Point. See, I don't even know the name of the fucking pay-per-view. That's how disinterested I've gotten over the bullshit. Turning Point was last night, and every title was on the line except for the Knockouts tag titles that they bring back and take away, bring back, take away. Oh, and Gail Kim's back. Why? The first match was the TNA television title. Eric Young defends against Robbie E, being escorted to the ring by Rob Terry, or Robbie T. I think that's what they call him. I don't fucking know. But I know the last couple weeks Eric Young's been demanding to be on television because he's the television champion. The guy looks weird with all that facial hair. You don't even think it's the same person. He looks like a homeless hobo. And I don't even know why they decided to want to bring him back on television. I mean, you got a TV title. You didn't even make a new version of the belt. I mean, if you have a TV title, if anything, I think TNA should make a new version of that belt and make that the second tier belt instead of the X Division belt. Because, you know, not everybody can do the X Division. Then you figure like somebody like, you know, Matt Morgan won the X Division title. You know, he's a slow, dim-witted fool. So, you know, the television title will probably be a lot more relevant. But this match was basically horrible. Always like Eric Young in the ring. But he's doing, I don't know what type of combinations and spots they have that guy doing in the ring. It's not very funny. It's not even interesting. It's not even fun to look at. And why Robbie E is still in TNA? I don't know. This match really wasn't... Normally, they start off the night with a good high. This was the low. I think this match probably got I would say my lowest rating of the night, but the finisher was Rob Terry on the outside. He hit, I was about to say Grizzly Redwood from Ring of Honor, because he looks just, Eric Young looks just like him. If you ever seen Grizzly Redwood, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or even a Necro Butcher. Rob Terry, I think, hit him, I say Rob Terry. Yeah, Rob Terry hit him from behind and then threw him back into the ring, and Robbie E just went in for the cover and won the television title. I give that match a 2.5 out of 5. Next up, we have the TNA Tag Team Championship match. Mexican America and Sarita versus Inc. with some new chick named Toxic. I mean, my mistake, Toxic. This match was actually one of the better matches I've seen out of these two teams. Of course, you know, I hate Mexican America because Hernandez can't fucking wrestle and Anarquia never gets any fucking ring time. You know, the match was damn near 15 minutes long almost, I think. I'm not sure. And yet Anarquia was only in the match. He was only in the ring for maybe about, you know, maybe about a minute total, minute 30 seconds total. And I never understood. I can't stand those guys. I mean, the match was going pretty good. You would figure since, you know... Then I was looking at, you know, Jesse Neal matchup to Hernandez. And, you know, he's not really... You know, it's not really that much size difference. I thought it was going to be like, you know, one of those dominating big guys versus small guys. No, it was pretty much an even match. You know, the Inc. did their spots. Hernandez floated around the ring like only he can do best, because that's the only thing he can do. And like I said before, I know who writes the shit and I know who decides the shit. But it gets me so upset how you had that bullshit happen in the TV title match. Now you have Sarita from behind, hits Toxic with the belt, and goes for the cover, so they retain the tag belts. It's like, I've never really seen a match where it's just a straight up finish. It's always a bullshit pin or somebody cheated. I have not seen a single match in TNA that was not won on dubious circumstances in a long time. I give this match a 3.5 out of 5. This is probably the highest rated match I ever gave to these two teams. Ink, I don't mind. Next up, we have the X Division Championship match. Jesse Sorington versus Kid Cash versus the champion Austin Aries. You got Kid Cash, who's in TNA, who's over 40. You got Austin Aries, who's damn near. And you got this Jesse Sorington. The whole match was just a fucking handicap match. It wasn't as bad as Vince and Brett's fiasco a year ago at WrestleMania, or 2 years ago at WrestleMania, I don't remember. When it was like 20 on 1. One of the worst matches Brett has ever... Actually, the worst match either of them have ever been. Because Vince never really has many bad matches. I can't really say much about this match. Because these two beat down Jesse. Then Jesse counters. He does a little offense. Then he beat him down again. That was pretty much the blueprint, no pun intended, for this whole fucking match. Then I was thinking, damn, don't both Austin Aries and Kid Cash use versions of Brain Busters as finishers? But instead, Kid Cash uses his moneymaker, which is a double underhook pile driver. He hit Jesse Sorington with it. Austin Aries puts his leg on the ropes. And then next you know, Austin Aries goes into the ring while Kid Cash is arguing with the ref. Rolls him up. Holds the tights, mind you. And retains the X Division title. Classic Austin Aries. That's why I love the guy. That's how he won the Ring of Honor title. Well, no, I think he did something behind the referee's back or something in that fatal 4-way match 3 years ago almost. I'll give this match a 2.5 out of 5 because I thought it could have been a lot better. They could have done more. Next up, a no disqualification match between Christopher Daniels and RVD with literally no fucking weapons. I have a lot to say about this match. I'm really getting sick and tired of seeing RVD. And I'm going to tell you why I'm getting sick and tired of seeing RVD. Not that I was never really a fan of RVD. I've always thought he was an overrated spot monkey. And they always talk to him about high flying when I see many high flyers do more innovative shit than he's ever done. But I've noticed in TNA, his one-on-one matches are so fucking one-sided. You had him pulling out counters on Christopher Daniels, which is a soundly technical wrestler as Christopher Daniels. You had Christopher Daniels going around the ring like he was a fucking novice. And I notice how fucking biased they are towards RVD. You realize he hasn't done a single job? The only fucking job he did in a one-on-one match since he fucking showed up in TNA was against fucking Crimson a couple months ago at fucking pay-per-view. That shit pisses me the fuck off. The next thing you know, they finally bring in some weapons. He Van dominates him with a steel chair, goes up top for a frog splash, and pins Christopher Daniels. This match gets a 2.5 out of 5. Next up, Matt Morgan versus Crimson. Another match between two big guys, one who's really good in the ring, one whose ring work gets a little bit better, but is still far away from being excellent. A match between two guys who should be in the main event, but yet none of their careers are going anywhere. Crimson hasn't done a job yet in TNA, and Matt Morgan wins on every match he has at a fucking pay-per-view. I don't even remember the last time Matt Morgan lost a one-on-one match. This match was typical. You know, Crimson, I like Crimson because he does a little bit of wrestling moves for a big guy. You know, he does a lot of technical wrestling. And it's pretty good seeing those two measure up. Like, I enjoyed the match that Crimson had with RVD, I believe, a couple months ago. But Matt Morgan, it was up in the air. Matt Morgan was pretty much, I would say, the dominant force in this match because he did a lot more damage to Crimson than Crimson did to him. But next thing you know, the match got called out by a double disqualification. I don't know, they kept on wildly swinging at each other, and the ref called a double disqualification. Now, yeah, that's more TNA match booking for you, more TNA finishers. You would have thought the fucking Dusty was back there, as much as they fuck it up. And we know how Dusty couldn't book a finisher to the match unless it was him. I give that match a 3 out of 5. Would have got better, but the ending ruined it for me, the finish. Next up, you got Scott Steiner and Bully Ray versus Anderson and Abyss. I'm really getting tired of seeing Bully Ray and Anderson. I mean, all backstage, these guys are arguing about they're the one half of the greatest tag team, you know, the Dudleys, or Scott Steiner says he's one half of the greatest tag team, which is the Steiner brothers. And I'm telling you one thing, the world's greatest tag team is in Ring of Honor. And if you haven't seen Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas in Ring of Honor, you know when they're actually appreciated for their in-ring work, you got to check them out, because they're fucking awesome. And might I go on to further say, the Dudley boys have never drew any money in TNA. They haven't drew any money since they were in fucking WWE. And the last 3 years they was in the WWE, they didn't draw any money. Scott Steiner, as an individual, has never drew any money outside of the Steiner brothers in 1993. But since that's all said and done, Abyss got little to no ring time. Steiner got little to no ring time. But surprisingly, the crowd was actually behind Scott Steiner. They was chanting Steiner all night long. And that's funny because that is like the only 40-year-old plus 40-plus-year-old guy they actually cheer for. But hey, this match was, you know, not really choreographed very good. It wasn't worked very good. This was actually a very horribly worked tag match. It actually made the Mexican America look good, the way this shit was going on. And the finisher, Scott Steiner hit Anderson with a Frankensteiner. He started pulling this shit out the bag. Because I think that's the third time we actually seen him do it as of late. You know, since he got bigger than my living room. And he didn't pull, and I thought he was going to pull a hip or break a hip, but he did it excellently. Then, you know, he started arguing with the ref because I think no tag was made or whatever. I don't know. And then Abyss came from behind, hit him with a black hole slam for the victory. Then they started beating up on Abyss. Anderson got thrown out of the ring. They double choke slammed him through a table. And the motherfucker got right back up. I give that match a 3 out of 5. It kept my interest. That's why I got the 3. Next up, the Knockouts title. The newly crowned first-time champion Velvet Sky go up against Gail Kim as a heel, which is not going to work. And might I say, I still say it before and I say it again, Velvet Sky is the worst female wrestler in TNA as far as in-ring work goes. Yes, she's nice to look at, but seriously, her in-ring work is much to be desired. And you know, as much as they, you know, had Lacey Von Erich, she's a fucking Von Erich. She should have been like, and you know they did the same thing with her that they did to Natalya. Natalya should be fucking destroying bitches. She's a fucking heart. They're synonymous with wrestling. Just like the fucking Von Erichs. TNA booking. And WWE booking. This match, you know how I feel about knockout matches. I don't even know how Gail Kim won this match. I don't even remember because I blinked my eyes and I don't even remember what the finisher was. But I give the match a 2 out of 5. I usually give knockout matches a 1.5 out of 5. Next up, Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy. Oh, I'm Jeff Hardy. I want another chance because I'm a total fuck up when everybody wants to give me all the opportunity in the world and I fuck it up. Which makes me the most overrated wrestler of 2009 and the most overrated wrestler period in TNA. What can I say? This match started, he hit Jeff Jarrett with a twist of fate for the 1-2-3. Jeff Jarrett restarted the match. And they went at it for about 8-9 minutes. The same usual Jeff Hardy stuff. Jeff Jarrett with his in-ring prowess, which is terrible. Jeff Hardy with his spot work, which is, you know, what more can I say? This is probably the worst match on the card, next to the knockouts. Jeff Hardy, what the hell was the finisher? He went for a twist of fate. Jeff countered it into a stroke, Jeff countered it into a pinning combination and won the match. Then next thing, for the second time in one night. The next thing you know, Jarrett walked down the ramp, hit him in the back with a steel chair, threw him back in the ring, went for a pin. Jeff Hardy turned him over and pinned him for a third time. This match got lower and lower and lower as the night went on. This match is merited. All three matches combined earn a 1.5 out of 5. I'm sorry, but come on. Y'all know that match was shit. Not their best work. Next up, we have the main event. The TNA Heavyweight Championship. Bobby Roode versus AJ Styles. Finally, we have a fucking championship match that we can be proud of. Two guys who are passionate. Two guys with in-ring work. Two guys that should have been in the main event 2 years ago. Well, AJ Styles was, and by the way, he is the longest reigning TNA World Champion. Since they turned it into the TNA World Championship. Then, you know, he said his shit about Hogan a couple years ago and got him back to mid-card status. But anyway, that match was pretty good. That's how, I know people was pegging, you know, him, Rude, and Angle to be match of the year as far as TNA was concerned, but of course it fell flat. This match was actually, this match was actually the best TNA, I mean, it wasn't great, but it's better than the shit that we've seen with Sting and Angle and Anderson for the last year. Was a whole lot better than anything those three idiots could fucking produce. And I gave it a 4 out of 5 because this is how, if all of TNA's main events for the title was like this, a lot of people will watch and the buy rate would be a lot better. Overall, this pay-per-view was very, very average. It wasn't like it was any, but you know, normally there are matches that actually blow me away. Only the main event did that. Another average pay-per-view for TNA. I was originally going to give this a 7, but it wasn't really any matches that really caught my interest or kept my interest. So I'm actually going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. I'm sorry if that offended many people, but come on. Y'all seen the event. Y'all know what it's about. This is Tough Tony Ant signing off. I'll see you all again next time.